Hi guys, Mark here. If people are new to post-processing process, they have tendency to overuse some features of editing software, or totally vice versa, to miss some basic corrections. It is happening because if someone is new for that process, it is very difficult to assess by him if his changes are okay or not, or maybe if something is missing. Today you will see 5 the most common mistakes I see on social media, and apart of that, of course, you will learn how to fix them or what to do to avoid them. We can start right now. So, first issue, what I can see on social media very often is making picture oversaturated. It is happening if we will go with saturation slider to the max or to some other big values. If you will do that, you can see the colors are definitely stronger, but I don't think so it looks good. Definitely sky isn't look good and grass is too saturated also. So to avoid such effects, what you can do? First of all, you can think to work with vibrance, because vibrance is working with differently. It's trying to not oversaturate colors which are already saturated. So you can try to move with it and see what are the effects. But if you'll go to max, it will oversaturate it anyway. But if you will go to some acceptable values, okay, let's say this is acceptable. After that, you can go to HSL section, and here you have particular colors. I mean, you can impact on saturation, hue or luminance for every color you have here. So for example, for that picture, maybe you believe that lake should be more saturated, so let's touch aqua and move even max. Okay, I think effects are good, but I think sky is a bit oversaturated. So I'm touching sky and going to some minus values. Okay, and also the same I can do with greens. And you need to know that in the grass there is a lot of yellow color, so if you will move yellow color, so it will impact on that also. So I'm not sure, I think something like that can be okay. I'm just checking if we have any oranges. Yes, we have, but I'm afraid maybe I will oversaturate it. Okay, so this is something what we have done, and let's compare it to our original picture. You can see here maybe two less colors, here I think it is enough, or maybe even a bit too much. And let's check how this oversaturated version looks like. Okay, so this is that one, so this is definitely too much. Okay, second example, a bit different picture, but also example for oversaturated pictures. So you can see picture from holiday. If we'll go with saturation to max, yes, many colors looks good, but totally not natural. For example, her skin looks totally not fine. So what you can do is exactly the same, but I will show you it in a bit different way. You can even go with saturation to max, and you can switch to HSL section and try to fix. So for example, if we would like to fix skin, so we can work with orange, because there is a lot of orange in skin. If we believe there is too much saturation in sky, we can work with blue. If we believe too less in the water, so we can even increase it more. I think this is not needed. And about the greens, difficult to say. I believe I would like just to increase the luminance. Okay, done. Let's go for the next examples. So the second quite popular issue is going max or too much with contrast or dehaze or clarity. So what I mean is that taking contrast and going max. Okay, so you can see, so grass looks interesting per my view, but the rest is too strong. So definitely it's not something what we can do. And I will show the same with dehaze. So it impacted mostly on the sky. And if you are a new user of Lightroom, probably if you are experimenting with that, can see the very interesting effects and you would like to go further and further and further. Yeah, and sky is becoming stronger and stronger, but there is, in some point, there is a border, and if you leave something like that, or maybe even like that, so this is too much. It looks totally not natural. So instead of doing that, the first advice is quite obvious. Don't go too much. Just try to do a bit, to not break anything. Okay. And if you see that for some particular areas you can go further, but the other areas of your pictures are getting broken, like for example here. So yes, contrast will break this part of image, but this, at least if it's not max, it's not breaking. Definitely it's not breaking, making even more interesting. So instead of going to such big values globally, think about local adjustments. You can use brush tool, radial filter, or graduated filter, and I will show it with graduated filter example. So let's put it in that way, and I'm changing, okay, sorry, not shadows, but contrast, as we said, contrast. So we can see the contrast is impacting only bottom of that picture. Okay, maybe even a bit more, but I'm really wondering what clarity will do here. Okay, so maybe this is too much, but to that extent it should be acceptable. So you could see. Okay, so maybe with that way. This on the red, you can see which area got impacted. So we impacted there where it was acceptable, but we didn't break the rest of our picture. Okay, so maybe even a bit less dehaze. Okay, looks a bit better. So let's compare it. We can see original picture and we can see after modification. So I think the second one is a bit more interesting. Maybe we should reframe it a bit more, but let's leave it as it's for now. And apart of that, let's compare it with that overused. So yes, sky is definitely stronger, but this looks totally not natural. Okay, the next type of issue, which is quite common, is not trying to reframe your picture after shot. Of course, once you are shooting the picture, you should think about right composition, you should think to keep your camera straight, but if because of any reasons you will not manage to do that, you can do that after shooting as well. Okay, so what issues we have here? We have here, per my view, two issues. First of all, those two guys should not be here. At least we prefer to not have them. And I know this is not horizon, but if there is horizon, the horizon looks like this line. And nowadays, industry standard is to keep horizon straight. So this is something what we would like to do. So I'm clicking crop overlay and I'm looking for two things: to move these guys out and to keep horizon straight. Okay, so horizon is straight, looks a bit better, but still I have this guy. Maybe this one guy is not a big issue, especially I like this composition. Okay, let's try to compare it. Okay guys, you see big difference. So this looks definitely not okay, and this with straight horizon looks much better. If I like, I can remove that guy with spot removal tool. If you're interested about the details, you can check my other video, but for this video I'm leaving it as it is. Okay, cool. The next type of issue is relevant to city shots. If you are shooting city, probably you have a lot of lines, and those lines should be upright. Here, definitely they are not. It is happening because the lenses, especially wide lenses, has distortion, and distortion you can see on that picture. Okay, so what we can do with that? We can do to transformation section, and firstly we can ask Lightroom to help us. So I clicked and it tried. Definitely I need to get rid of those two triangles. So just doing that. Okay, we see that work is not perfect, so I need to help it manually. Okay, right now I'm happy about the results, but need to reframe again. Okay, so distortion definitely gone. To be honest, I think this is not perfect composition, because here I should have more water to balance better that picture, but unfortunately this is that what I got. I didn't frame originally more water. My bad. Let's see before and after. On the left side, original one with distortion. On the right side, after modification without distortion. To be super honest, I'm wondering if this one doesn't look more interesting for me, but definitely this one is more professional. Second picture for the same issue, I mean distortion. You can see lines are definitely not upright, so what I'm going to do is to click auto, and you can see Lightroom did the work for me quite well this time. I can click also constraint crop, and it will even crop for me, but as you can see it's not the best idea, so I prefer to do that manually. Okay, so I just did minimum. Okay, and you can see, so this is before with distortion, this is after, much better. Apart of that, if we like, we can go a bit further and maybe find a bit better composition. So I think further cropping can be beneficial, as this line I will try to keep, those two lines I would like to keep close each other. Not sure if sun is not too close to border, so maybe move it a bit more. Okay, so let's try again. Before, after. So definitely I think the composition on the right one is better. Okay, so the last type of issue is lack of vignette. I'm definitely not saying vignette is mandatory for each picture, definitely not. But for some pictures this is recommended. For this one, you can see we have subject in the center, picture is relatively bright, and per my view something is missing. If you will go to the effects and to the amount slider and you will go down, then you will see image becomes darker on the corners, and it may be beneficial for us. Right now this is definitely too strong, but you can see what is happening. Your eyes are automatically going inside of the picture, so picture is stronger, you are more focused on the subject. So this -60 is not okay per my view. Maybe -35 is okay. So this was without, and this is with vignette. We can also check it as before after. So this is before, this is after. I definitely recommend the right one. Okay, as quick summary, you can see 5 most common issues and ways how to solve them or avoid them. I hope that video was useful for you. If you'd like to see more videos like that, I really appreciate if you click like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much, guys.